Hello, and welcome to Insanity for Sanity's Sake. I'm Joshua Shoup, and today I will be educating you on how to make Kool-Aid, or as some like to call it, slightly flavored sugar water. Now, to begin with, I'd suggest that you get some sort of container to hold the liquid, because otherwise you won't be able to enjoy this immensely satisfying drink. I usually prefer to get a container that doesn't have holes in it, so that it actually works as a container. But if you want one with holes, that works too. That's okay. We'll get to that later. Now, if you can really make it out of any material you want. I usually use a plastic one, such as this. But if you're really rich, you can use diamond or crystal or gold if you want. It's really up to you, whatever floats your boat. Now, after you've gotten your beautiful container and spilled a glass of water, it's always best to fill up said container with this strange clear liquid. I believe some people call it water. And I think it's used in most cultures to nourish, to keep people hydrated. But I would say fill it up maybe about, most of the way up, 3/4, 7/8, anything you want, as long as it's a fraction and the number above is less than the number below. But once you've gotten your container, you have your lovely, beautiful container, you with me? And you have your nice, cold, clear liquid. It's best if it's cold, unless you want it hot. That's okay too. Whatever floats your boat. It's up to you, okay? Now, once you have this, you take your magic powder, your magical glitter powder. It's sold at most stores under the name Kool-Aid, but in truth, it's some sort of pixie dust type thing. I'm not sure. That's just my hunch. But what you want to do, are you with me? You tear open the top slightly. Okay? Did you get that? You tear open the top slightly. If you're too scared of tearing, you can cut it open with scissors. And if you're not allowed to use scissors, I'd say ask a parent. But once you have this open, in whatever form you have, however you've done it, as long as you haven't spilled any of the magic pixie dust, you can pour it just like this. Watch. You see the powder falling? Look at that. And look at that liquid. It's turning a lovely shade. Isn't that appetizing? Oh yes, look at that. Lovely shade of blood red. Now you can give it a little swirl, get it mixed around there. So right now, you've got the beginnings of your slightly flavored sugar water. Now, what I suggest you do at this point is take a moment and bask in the glory of it all. Look at it, breathe in the sweetly sickening aroma, and smile to yourself. Yeah, that's right, good job. Alright, now you probably want to get a spoon. I usually use a plastic one, but if you have crystal or diamond or gold lying around the house, you can do that too. But so just to get the powder mixed around a little bit, you don't really need this step. I just like doing it because there's kind of a weird powder cloud thing at the top. So yeah, that's just what I did. But next, the next step you do, this is my favorite part. You get your sugar. Who doesn't like sugar? Now what you do, you get some sort of measuring cup. Anything works as long as it's 1 cup or less on the little number that it says on there. See, this one says 1/3 cup. That's 1/3 cup. Okay, now what you do is you go into the container and you scoop up a nice honkin' big scoop of sugar. You see that? Yeah. And you dump it in. Isn't that awesome? After you do that, you take another big honkin' scoop of sugar and you dump it in. Can you say heart disease? I can. As if that wasn't enough, you can get another big honkin' scoop of sugar and dump that in. Oh yeah. And if you really want to, you can take a little pinch and eat it yourself. You don't have to do that stuff. It's optional. Whatever floats your boat. I'm here to please you. Now what you should do next is take the spoon that you should have gotten out earlier, whether you used it before or not, and you put it in and you start stirring. That's right, you stir. You stir. You just keep stirring and stirring. You wait a while until it's dissolved. And then once it's dissolved, I'm not going to do this just yet. You're going to take some water, the water that I spilled, yes. You're going to pour it on, top it off to completely dissolve it. But because this might take a little while, we're going to cut to a commercial break, minus the commercial. So there won't be any time passing for you, but I'll be back in a few minutes, okay? And we're back. While you were gone, I did some more stirring of our magical sugar water liquid, and the sugar at the bottom started to dissolve and go into the rest of the lovely sugar liquid. Now, this sometimes takes a while, depending on how much sugar you put in. If you put in the right amount, then it should all be great, but sometimes it might take a while. So if you get bored doing this, try thinking this. Listen to the sound of the spoon and imagine that it's a horse galloping. And then think of yourself in Narnia or Middle-earth, whatever floats your boat. We're here to please you. I almost spilled that again. Alright, so what you do, you should have gotten a glass of water, not spilled it, and then you pour it in on top, okay? So now it's full all the way, like it should be. And you just finish dissolving it, okay? Then you toss that off to the side. Then you take this, you probably want to put on a lid, unless you like spills all over your floor, which, yeah, enough said. Okay, so now what you do when you're finished with that, you take it and watch this. You pour it into a cup, just like that. Pour it into a cup. And now, here's my favorite part. You take a nice big gulp of your slightly flavored sugar water and enjoy the sugar rush. Wow! Yeah! Let's go! I hope you enjoyed this because I sure did. So, just hang out right where you are until I upload another video. See you later on Insanity for Sanity's sake. Woo!